I'm ready to wrestle.
Okay. This is AJ from here with Coach Don Pellum, one of my favorite interviews in the business. What are you thinking so far in spring? 5 practices under your belt.
I like the energy, like the attitude. Got a lot of young guys, and it's amazing to say this, but we're really young. But we're young with some experience, but it's been fun so far. The kids are really eager to learn, and we've got some new things we're doing, which is exciting. You know, anytime you introduce something new, it's exciting. So really excited right now, and really excited for the scrimmage. Friday to actually get out there and scrimmage a little bit and see what they can really do.
Talk about some of the new things. I know 4-3 is a big issue this spring. How's that going?
I think the transition to defense is going well. You know, it's 4-3, but in our last defense there was 4-3 principles, so it's not like it's totally different. I think some of the pressure packages are different. I think that's what the biggest difference is, and the concept of being vertical up the field all the time. No two gapping. But we played some of this year, so it's not totally foreign. It's just continued reps to get better, to get better, to get better.
Absolutely. The one big difference I've been asking guys, the kind of theme that keeps coming back, is the one gap. It's a lot of one gap versus two gap defense now. What do you think of that part of it? I realize I'm talking about kind of up front, but what do you think about that concept?
Once again, we were running some of that concept last year. I mean, we look at the Washington game and the Colorado game and the Washington State game. We're in a ton of solo gap defense. I like it. Every defense, there's not a bad defense. It's what you believe in and what you emphasize and what the players believe in and they take ownership of. And then with every defense, you have to fit plays to it. So you play a spread offense, you've got a unique set of circumstances you have to address. And I think that's where we are right now. It's good being a 4-3 at this point with our evolved offense. So all the tough situations we're seeing every day. And so I think that's good. I think the 4-3 adapts to two backs really well. So I think we're in a good spot.
How do you like focusing on the linebacker group as opposed to having to be more of a generalist on defense?
I love coaching, so it doesn't matter. It's whatever that position is, whatever that opportunity is. I love coaching it. So I'm fired up right now. We have a young group of backers. From the standpoint of there's no returning seniors, so every position's open. There's 14 guys working really hard. There's 2 more coming in the fall. So right now it's an exciting time for us.
Yeah. When the Ducks made the transition last year to you being a linebacker coach, did you agree with that decision? What can you tell me about how your feelings about that decision and that change?
It's about the mission, right? So the mission's Oregon football. So whatever opportunity is to continue to further Oregon football, to represent all the guys that came before me, all the guys that played, all the coaches that made it, it's an opportunity to further our brand and what we're doing. So I'm excited. I was excited then, I'm excited now.
Do you find that this gives you an opportunity to be closer with the players because you don't have so many that 50 plus that are in your group?
When you're a position coach, what it does, it affords you the opportunity to really dig into your group and spend a little more time. And that's the biggest difference.
How about in terms of teaching? I remember talking to you years ago, and you said one of your favorite parts of being a coach is being a teacher. Doing that, you get to do more of that now?
Yeah, as a position coach, you have time. That's the difference. As a coordinator, you spend time preparing a big picture. As a position coach, you spend time preparing for your group. But the preparation and the amount of time and the amount of thought, it's the same.
How about Coach Hood? You've had some 5 practices plus a couple months with him now. What's your impressions of that guy?
I think he's what we thought he was. He's very energetic, very passionate, old school in some ways. He's very demanding of the players, and then they're going to do it right, which is good. He's holding people accountable. I think he's doing a terrific job.
What do you take away from your experience as a defensive coordinator?
Take away from it. That's a tough question. I don't have an answer. I think for me, with any job, any position, you put your heart and soul in it. So you take away everything that you put into it and you focus on the good days. There's always going to be good days and bad days, and you focus on the good things and you learn from the things that weren't as well, that didn't go as well, and you keep pushing forward. And so that's what I learned. It's another learning experience like every lesson in life.
you are a guy that's passionate about working here at Oregon. You were a player here. You've been a coach here forever and ever. Do you feel a strong passion today as you felt years and years and years and years ago?
Absolutely. Even more. Once again, it's about the mission. And the mission has been to take Oregon football from where it was a long time ago to where it is now, and to keep taking Oregon football higher. And once again, being a former player and a coach here, I have a bigger obligation because I represent the former players and the former coaches and all those guys that have helped us and helped me along the way. All my former coaches, the Brookses, Coach Walker. Don't talk about him a lot, but he was awesome. And to take all those lessons that those guys taught me and to continue to further the program, and that's the mission.
Let me shift gears a little bit. Talk about your current, personnel. Any of the youngsters standing out to you after we've had 5 practices here in spring?
Not really. I mean, everyone's doing some good things, some bad things. Guys are the things they know they're doing a pretty good job of, and the other things they're kind of feeling their way through. And that's why it'll be nice to get in the scrimmage situation where they're out there by themselves, and let's see what you really know. And if you don't know, that's okay. Run around and hit someone. Run around and be aggressive, and then we'll teach you what to do later. But we're trying to find out where everyone is, and that's why the scrimmage will allow us to really assess every individual with a lot of quality reps, and then we can really make some real decisions in terms of who's first, who's second, who's third.
I was going to say, you kind of segued right into that practice order, or depth chart, as some people call it. How far will spring go towards determining that for the linebacker?
No, I think the work that we put in spring will really set us up for the summer and fall camp in terms of who's probably first, who's second, who's third, who are the nickel linebackers, and all those situations where we're working through practice now, so that I think when we finish here in 3 weeks, we'll have a pretty good idea of where guys at least will start when we start fall camp, and also what the depth chart will be for the summer, because when we stop, the players continue. So in the summer, they're out there running 7-on-7 and 1-on-1s, and they're running the practice themselves, but they'll have a practice order because that will have been established by what's happening right now.
Let me ask about you and your individuals. Jimmy Swain, what do you see out of that guy?
Jimmy's been good. We're moving Jimmy around. He's playing some Sam. He's playing some Mike. He's playing some nickel linebacker. He's doing a nice job. There's a lot more comfortable on the inside because that's what his background is, but we're forcing him to learn outside as well. I think he's been doing a pretty nice job.
There's a guy on your team that has a great name, A.J. Hockenson. Really, he must be very handsome also. Tell me about what you've seen on the junior college transfer.
When you say handsome, are we talking about A.J. or A.J.? You must be talking about A.J.
AJs you got.
No, A.J.'s been wonderful through 5 practices. Extremely physical. He's downhill. A good learner and a good student. I mean, he'll call or text me early in the morning, late at night with questions. I mean, he's studying. He wants to know. He wants to be great. And I think A.J., if he continues on his pace, will find his way on the field. I don't know if that's first team or second team, but I think he'll be out there with an opportunity to really improve himself.
Another transfer, Johnny Reagan. What do you see out of him this spring camp?
Johnny's the old man right now.
Yep.
Johnny's we only have one senior. We're 2 seniors. There's only 2 seniors, Johnny and Daquan. So Johnny's taking the ownership of all 3 positions because he's the old man, and he's handling it well. He's handling it very well.
Jonah Moy, a guy that Duck fans don't really know hardly anything about. Haven't seen him play. What are you seeing out of Jonah?
I think Jonah's been a surprise as well. We're forcing the learning curve with him. He's playing Sam. He's playing a little inside in the nickel packages. He probably could be a rush in that package as well. But we're forcing the learning curve with Jonah a lot right now, and he's been responding pretty well. A tremendous athlete. He's a load. I mean, he brings a lot of. When he comes, there's a lot of. There's a lot of. I mean, he's a load.
How good can the linebacker be this year?
To the degree that they work hard and really learn. This is so much little learning that has to happen. You look at the linebacker group next year. We're going to be looking at probably 5 or 6 freshmen. I think there's 6 or 7 freshmen. Let's say 5 or 6 freshmen. Three junior college guys that haven't played at this level, and then 3 guys returners. It's the Danny Manley, it's Reagan, and Swain. 1 star between all of them. So there's a lot of inexperience. There's some experience, but a lot of inexperience in the small details. And so to the degree that we can build and just get up on that general knowledge of here's how things happen, and we see this, do that, to the degree we can build it, I think this group can be pretty good. I think it could be actually really good, and I think next year, the year after, really, really, really good.
Mike, I'm sorry to hop in. Go for it if you want.
I just had one other question. When you said the mission, it's all about the mission.
Mm-hmm.
End of last season comes. Did you ever take a moment, step back, take stock of how the year went and wonder, okay, is it time for a change? Is it time for me to look elsewhere and think about something different?
It's about going out every day and doing the best I can do. That's what I do. That's what you do. That's what we all do. And that's what this life is all about, doing the best you can in whatever capacity that is. We look back at the season, you could throw out a handful of plays and it's totally different. Really. And so, for us, it's not dwelling on the past, it's the path. And the path is to do everything we can to continue to grow and move the program.
All right.
Okay.